This thing we have done already. If you happen to see these words, em, 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 so that's how you pronounce it. But generally, it's en only. Okay, it's in only. There is specific rule that we learned yesterday that works for at least 90 to 95% of the time. What is the rule? The rule is if you see P, letter P or letter B after after after, then you have to write M in place of N. So sample, sample, sample. So you see this is P here, so that's why we have M here. Impossible. So P here, that's why we have M here. Same, same for other category. That's lamp. So P here, that's why we have M here. Vampire, P here, M. Empereur, P here, M. Remplir, P here, M. Compter, because of P, it's M here. This is an exception, bonbon. So this bonbon is an exception. Okay, then you will say here it's B, but why there is N? So this is an exception. So there are always some exceptions in French. So this is one of those. But this is a very helpful rule, and we also did a video. So if you want to practice the sounds, go ahead. I'm listening. You can pronounce these, and I'll see how you pronounce them, and then I'll try to correct you one by one, please.
Order, order.
Start from this one, Mata, and then you just take turns, okay?
Map. Starting from Martin to Shaker.
Mata yeah, Mata, then you will, maybe depending on you, could be left, right, and then, or you can just take one line at the first and then second, up to you.
Okay. Mata. Jada. Simple. Just simple.
Sample.
Sample.
Mhm.
Impossible.
Impossible. Bull. Impossible.
Impossible. Um,
Impossible.
impossible.
Mhm.
Train.
See?
Tram.
Tran.
Tram.
No, it, yeah.
Humor.
Mhm.
Park.
Mhm.
Puncher. Ra.
Pantuf.
Pacho. Rojo.
Pantuf. Rien.
Pacho. Ria. Chia.
Sorry. So this one here is Ra, means kidneys. So Ra is a kidney, and
Ra.
Ria means nothing. Ra
Ra.
here it means kidney,
Okay. And Chia.
and then
Chia.
Sha, yeah, mhm,
Ria.
yeah.
Ang.
So you see, same,
Ang.
uh-huh.
Shaka. Shaka.
Chacun, très bien.
Can you speak once more, please?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Mata. Jada. Step.
Sample.
Foster. Sample. Ja. Humor. Pa.
Mhm,
Pachu. Re.
mhm.
Shia.
Rien.
Ria.
Mhm,
Shia.
mhm,
Ria. Un, Shaku,
Très bien. So sorry, I it was my mistake. So first one is Ra, Ra, and second one here, this first one, second one. First one is Ra, second one is Rien.
okay.
Awesome. So Rumi, wanna try?
So मेरा गला खराब है Can I
Sure.
read
No
next
problem.
one?
Okay, no problem. So Gargi, do you wanna try these?
Sure. So, Angi,
Ange, apa e नहीं बोल रहे, last e नहीं बोल रहे, apa आड़ी, not speak that. Ange,
Ange, France,
mhm.
Lam, Vamp, Vampire,
Vampire,
Vampire, Vamp,
mhm.
Adventure,
Vin. So we don't speak this T. Vin,
Vamp, Adventure,
mhm. Aventure,
Adventure, uh,
aventure,
Avan- Avanture, Avanture,
mhm.
Ampro,
Mhm.
Rampler, Rampli,
Remplir.
Rampli, Ange,
So do you know the?
yeah,
Mhm. So if you know the meanings of these, I can. If you don't know, I can tell you the meanings as well.
France is a
So
country lab.
Ange,
Yeah, Ange,
yeah,
like,
is a angel.
it's a
Angel, I think it's angel.
angel.
Let me check. Angel. Yeah, it's an angel. And vent is wind, and adventure is adventure.
Ramp,
So remplir is means to fill. It's a verb. It means to fill. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, please. No problem. Go ahead, please. Revise. Let's try once more.
Ange, France, La,
Hmm.
Vampire, Va, Aventure, Hero, Rempli, Remplir,
So this one here is aventure and not aventure. Avant,
Ava,
avant, aventure.
Avanchu, Avanchu,
Yeah, yeah.
Avanchu.
I think you got it pretty well. So I think you got it pretty well. And this one, please.
Which one?
Next
Okay,
one.
this one.
Oh, the next one. Yeah,
Just give me a second. Just give me.
no problem.
Yeah, ready.
Hmm.
Lion, Leon,
No.
Leon,
Yeah. Hmm.
Bonbon, Bonbon,
Bonbon. Bonbon is a toffee or maybe a sweets that children eat a lot.
Bonbon,
Mhm.
Copte,
Conte. We don't pronounce T here. Conte.
Comte,
Hmm.
Premo,
Heno.
Preno. So it's
Heno is the first name.
Preno. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Heno.
Leon, Bonbon, Comte,
Mm-hmm.
Preno.
Heno. So this one, I found this video also interesting, so we can have a look at it quickly. We missed it yesterday. So I don't think that you can hear the sound right now, right? If I play, please let me know, okay? Let's try once.
No, no.
en, un, and on. Let's go through some French words. Lent, long. Angle, ongle. Rampe, rompre. Lin, lin. Geindre, jungle. Brin, brun. Those four sounds are nasal sounds. What's nasal sound? It's a sound produced by a flow of air going through the nose. For instance, is a nasal consonant. Try this. Keep your mouth closed and produce a sound, keeping it for several seconds. Something like Then, while you do this, pinch your nose and you'll see that your will be stopped, because it's only through your nose that that sound was produced. Now, try this. While you are doing just open your mouth. The air will go through both your nose and your mouth. That was a nasal vowel. These four nasal vowels are in fact the nasalized version of four vowels studied in my previous videos. To produce them, you only need to pronounce the relevant vowels, letting the air also go through your nose. Lastly, note that the sounds and are very similar. Today, most people use the sound for both. Let's practice the sound en. Ancien, menthe, tante, dent. Let's practice the sound. Matin, peinte, main, ancien. Let's practice the sound. Un, brun, parfum, lundi. Let's practice the on sound. Pont, montagne, front, bonbon. Now, let's practice the sounds in context with The Little Prince, beginning of chapter 9. Those four sounds are nasal sounds. That and you only need to pronounce the similar. Dent, matin, peinte, main, ancien. Montagne, front, bonbon, bonbon.
So here on the towards the table, you would see the list of sounds that we have just done. So first screenshot, that is the sound ah, okay, that we done from before. So I want you to please pronounce this to see if you have understood this sound.
Long, long,
Yeah.
long,
So this,
long,
yeah,
raw, 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 la, la, chi, chomp, chomp, ra, ra.
so sorry, I missed you. Where are you? I think.
Which
So
one?
this in front of you, we have all the four sounds. First one is this one. Second one is this one, and this one is the third one, and fourth one. And we have not done that from before, but this is new. But you can ignore that. Bit difficult. So this is these three sounds we have done. So if you see red color, that's if you see this purple color, that's come here. So if you see this color yellow, John, that's on. So please that keep in mind and please pronounce these the words that we have in front of you.
Should I be speaking like horizontally or vertically?
Up to you. Can decide. No problem.
Okay.
So first one is the word, then is how to pronounce it. So just we have two words and not four. See everywhere, right?
Okay. ठीक.
Perfect.
La,
Mhm,
ongle,
mhm,
romper, la, chang,
mhm,
ch chandra, bra.
mhm.
Like ਜਿਹੜਾ fourth fifth word ਹੈ ਚੰਦਰ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੰਗਲ pronounce ਕਰਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ
ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ
ਲੱਗਦਾ
ਦੋ ਵਰਡ ਨੇ
ਓਕੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਕ
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਾਂਦਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੋ ਦੋ ਆ ਲਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਔਰ ਦੂਆ ਲੌਂਗ ਲੌਂ ਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਲੋ ਫਿਰ ਲੌਂ ਲੌਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਲੌਂਗ
and should I speak so la law
Mhm,
angle ongle
mhm, mhm,
romp romp la la chandra jongle bra
mhm। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
bra
ਪਹਿਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਬ੍ਰਾਂ ਕਮ ਬ੍ਰਾਂ ਆ ਆ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਦੂਜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਆ ਫਸਟ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਆ
bra
ਔਰ ਮੇਬੀ ਬ੍ਰਾਂ
bra bra
perfect, it was really good, really good. And then specifically we have this first one, that's sound. Again some examples.
आशियां माथे दांत दांत
Okay, so first one is आसियां
आसियां
माँ 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 देखो जी माँ एच ही नहीं बोलना इथे
अच्छा माँ
माँ आ नाल थोड़ी देखो इथे हैगा pronunciation माँ त जी बोलना हल्का जा but एच ही नहीं बोलना माँ 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 दांत दां ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਫਸਟ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਇਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ this first category first category are ਸਾਰੇ words. So all the videos that I shared yesterday, so they talk about the same thing, and but everybody has its own way of explaining things. So if so, these are the videos that are best viewed on YouTube, guys. So these are the best people for this particular subject on YouTube that I could find. So they have done their job really well. So it's up to you to just grasp what they're explaining. And so this video we'll discuss afterwards. So this lady will see this video as well. This lady talked about the use of P, why we have M here, and with P, imbecile, impossible. We'll study this video as well. Okay. And for time being, okay. So this one is the second sound. That's ah. Okay. Go ahead, please. Mata, pant, ma,
Mata, pant, ma, ancien.
ancien.
हाँ हाँ
Mata means hand. बहुत बढ़िया. Très bien. Mata means so here mata means hand. Sorry, morning. So like I say, bon matin is good morning. Pant is I think to paint. Let me check. Yeah, to paint. Pant is to paint.
हाँ जी हाँ
Pant
जी हाँ सॉरी हाँ जी ठीक है तो ठीक है ठीक है
and next is ma means hand. Ancien means ancient, old. Okay, so this is what it means. And now that you know how to pronounce these, mata, pant, ma, ancien. Next comes on. So we have this example. That's pond is a pond. Sorry, pond is I think bridge. Montagne, mountain. Front, front. Bonbon. It's a Swedish. So who's gonna try these?
pont montagne grand
Mhm.
enfant
Front, bonbon. Très bien. So just for understanding, I'm just writing their English equivalents. Is a bridge. First one is a bridge, and second one is a mountain. Third one is front, and fourth one are the sweets, bonbon, candies, candy. Then check Google. Yeah, it's a candy. Très bien. So quickly we will have a look at this video for why we have used. Oh, where is that video? Okay, so here is the one. So it's an excellent video. Stop the sharing.
Salut tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on va faire une nouvelle leçon de français et c'est une leçon de prononciation. I'm so happy because today we are going to learn 3 very important sounds of the French language. Aujourd'hui, on va apprendre 3 sons du français qui sont très importants et très spécifiques de la langue française. Ce sont les sons un, en, on. These 3 sounds are called voyelles nasales. Pourquoi nasal? Nasal because it comes from the nose. So when you pronounce these sounds, the air comes from the throat and goes through the mouth and through the nose at the same time. This is very specific. Let's make the difference between un and on. So I told you that what is specific is that the air goes through the nose and the mouth. But this is not going to be very useful for you to know that. What's very important is the position of the mouth. So when you pronounce the sound un, the mouth goes like that. Un, un. I exaggerate a bit, of course, but it is to show you. Un. You'll see the difference with the other sound. En, en. You see that my mouth is open. En, en. Un, en, un, en. Third sound, on, on. You see the mouth is small and round. On. Okay, so let's repeat the 3 sounds. Un, en, on. Un, en, on. Okay, this is a bit ridiculous, but you need to do this gymnastic every day until you master the 3 sounds. To practice that, you can pronounce words where you can find the sound on, un, en. For that, it's also important to recognize these sounds when you read. So let's have a look at the different way we write them. Okay, so first the sound un can be written en. When I say en, it's the French I. It's in in English. En, un. Here I want to insist. You should not pronounce any sound N at the end. There is no N at the end. It's written N, but it's not pronounced. Un. You see that my mouth doesn't do un. Okay? It's a common mistake you make when you start learning French. So it's very important to be careful about that. Let's see an example. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. So I advise you to write this sentence and repeat it. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. Okay, you can also write this sound im. im. Why M? We put M just before the letter B and P. For example, imbécile, imbécile, impossible, impossible. So here you see we have a B and a P, so the N becomes M. Imbécile, impossible. You can also write it E-I-N. For example, une ceinture, de la peinture. Ceinture, peinture. You hear, I'm not saying ceinture, I'm saying ceinture. Not peinture, peinture. You can also write it A-I-N. Du pain pour demain. Du pain pour demain. Also A-I-M. J'ai faim. J'ai faim. We can write it Y-N, like in syndicat, un syndicat. And also Y-M, like une symphonie sympathique. Une symphonie sympathique. Here I am pausing the video because I've been asked how do we pronounce UN. Well, it's the same as en. I know in theory it's different, but in real life it is the same, so you can add it in the list. Okay, let's continue. And to finish with un, you can also write it en, but it's very rare to write it like that. It's only when you have an I or Y before. Y-E-N, I-E-N. Par exemple, un citoyen, moyen, moyen, bientôt, bientôt, bienvenue, bienvenue. But be careful, remember that when you see en,
You want to say
मेरे
something?
ए पार्ट दोबारा स्टार्ट करिए आईएन वाला
IN वाला.
हम्म
Okay, ਆਪਾਂ
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨੇ
ਕਰਦੇ हैं, ਆਪਾਂ
ਸਟਾਰਟ
definitely कर,
या
ਆਪਾਂ
ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ
definitely ਕਰਦੇ हैं,
ਜਸ
but let's do it.
ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਏਦਾਂ
Okay, कोई गल नहीं,
ਪੂਰਾ
no
ਨਹੀਂ
problem.
ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਜਦ ਉਹਨੇ ਉਤੋਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦੇਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ
Let's watch it once again, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ, ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ, right?
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ
तो टेंशन ना लो, we will do it slowly. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट, इट्स लाइक अ बेस. सो मैं तो बहुत टाइम लाऊंगा, सारा हफ्ता इतने लाऊंगा, नो प्रॉब्लम. सो ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਫਿਰ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਰਾ, ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ, नो प्रॉब्लम. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
but you need to do this gymnastic every day until you master the 3 sounds. To practice that, you can pronounce words where you can find the sound on, un, en. For that, it's also important to recognize these sounds when you read. So let's have a look at the different way we write them. Okay, so first the sound un can be written en. When I say en, it's the French I. It's in in English. En, un. Here I want to insist. You should not pronounce any sound n at the end. There is no n at the end. It's written n, but it's not pronounced. Un. You see that my mouth doesn't do un. Okay? It's a common mistake you make when you start learning French. So it's very important to be careful about that. Let's see an example. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. So I advise you to write this sentence and repeat it. Il y a du vin dans le jardin du voisin. Okay, you can also write this sound im. Im. Why M? We put M just before the letter B and P. For example, imbécile, imbécile, impossible, impossible. So here you see we have a B and a P, so the N becomes M. Imbécile, impossible. You can also write it E-I-N. For example, une ceinture, de la peinture. Ceinture, peinture. You hear, I'm not saying ceinture, I'm saying ceinture. Not peinture, peinture. You can also write it A-I-N. Du pain pour demain, du pain pour demain. Also A-I-M, j'ai faim, j'ai faim. We can write it Y-N, like in syndicat, un syndicat. And also Y-M, like une symphonie sympathique, une symphonie sympathique. Here I am pausing the video because I've been asked how do we pronounce UN. Well, it's the same as EN. I know in theory it's different, but in real life it is the same, so you can add it in the list. Okay, let's continue. And to finish with un, you can also write it EN, but it's very rare to write it like that. It's only when you have an I or Y before. Y-E-N, I-E-N. Par exemple, un citoyen, moyen, moyen, bientôt, bientôt, bienvenue, bienvenue. But be careful. Remember that when you see en, most of the time it is pronounced en. En is the second sound we have studied. En. En.
So let's quickly practice what we have learned now. So I'm going to share my screen first. So this is the video that we just watched. And I need your help to pronounce the same sentence that the professor just read. Il y a du vent dans la jardin du voisin. First of all, what it means, there is wine in the garden of the neighbor. So, du vin, you know, wine. Dans means in. La jardin is garden. Du voisin is the neighbor. So, I need your help to pronounce it correctly, please. Go ahead, take your turns.
Thank you. Il y a du dans les jardins du voisin. Embassy.
Again, this is the same. No. That is the same sound, okay? Sound, same.
Okay.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੇਮ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਇਹ
Duan.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵਾਹ
Duan dans les jardins du voisin.
ਲ ਜਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਸਕੂਲਿਨ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਲ ਜਰਦਾ ਕੋਈ
Le jardin du voisin.
Du voisin.
Du voisin.
Très bien. Donc, il y a du vent dans le jardin du voisin. Voisin, c'est voisin.
Voisin.
So, same cheez hai.
Okay.
Imbecile is stupid. Person who is not intelligent. Imbecile. Imbecile. Imbecile.
Imbecile.
Yeah.
Impossible.
So, I think you know, right? Sorry to interrupt. So, do you know here the why is B is in blue?
Yeah, the sound P and B, the M that comes before P and B, then the sound becomes N.
Exactly. So you see, I-N and I-M both are A. Okay? And if I say imbecile, then you will write I-M because it starts with B. So that's for your help.
Okay.
Okay. Rest of the cases, if there is no B, no P, you write with I-N. Okay. So that simplifies the things for you. Just few exceptions like bonbon. Bonbon, we have done that. It's O-N. Anyway. So, but that is on and not with the A. That's different case. So let's continue, please.
Imbecile, impossible, stantour, dans la peinture, du pain, or demain.
ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਈਨ ਬੋਲਤੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੁਕਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਹੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਰੁਕਣਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
ਓਕੇ
ਸੋ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ une it's feminine une ceinture de la peinture très bien
du pain pour demain.
Okay, it was good. What it means is bread for tomorrow. Du pain means some bread for tomorrow, or what it means. Okay.
J'ai faim.
J'ai faim. It means I'm hungry. So it's an expression that we'll do today itself. So we use avoir to say some expressions that we'll do today. They're very useful expressions. So it means I'm hungry. So if you are hungry, you will say j'ai faim with avoir. J'ai faim. Okay.
Syndicat. Sandika.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we don't pronounce T. You got it right. Because you know it's like we pronounce it like same pronunciation. Sandika. Très bien. It's a union, right? It's a union. So every company has a syndica, every employee union. So every company has employees, and employees have a union. So to tackle problems. So that's a syndica. Okay. Très bien.
Just a second, I can't. Just a second.
No problem.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ
Okay, you wanna start again or you wanna just continue?
On symphony symphony नहीं
Une.
है ना
पहला हैगा une symphonie.
Une symphonie, une sympathie.
Okay. Une symphonie
Une
sympathique.
sympathique. Une
Sympathique.
symphonie, une sympathique.
नहीं उन्हें नहीं हैगा इकट्ठा ही है une symphonie sympathique.
Une symphonie sympathique.
Très bien. On the next है ना, it's important. मैं तो डालता हूँ पहला फिर then I'll ask to pronounce it. So okay, वो कह रही है कि भी if there is I, so what is y? Y is just two I's, right? I told you before. So if there is y before n or maybe en in English, then the sound is a. So it's a citoyen, citoyen, un citoyen, moyen, bientôt, bienvenue means welcome. I repeat. So if there is y, that which means two I's, or e, simple I as in India or maybe ice cream, but before n or maybe elephant Natalie in English, you have to pronounce it as same okay. So these are the examples. So it's situa pardon, j'ai la misère. I have difficulty in pronouncing this. I'm sorry. It's citoyen, citoyen, moyen, bientôt, bienvenue. Okay, so one citizen, it's medium, and bientôt means soon, in a couple of days, 2-3 days. Bienvenue means welcome. And now you can take turns and practice, please.
Un citoyen, moyen, bientôt, bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue. Bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue. Gargi, you want to try from Sindhika? You missed these.
Sandika. Symphony. Symphony. Sympathetic. Sympathetic. Is it right?
Yeah, it's good.
Sitoya, Moya.
Sorry, it's okay. You know that un is same pronunciation. Okay.
Sitoya, Moya, Bianto, Bienvenue.
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 Très bien. Very good. It's excellent. So Rumi, can you repeat the first 6, 7 that you missed?
Il y a deux dans les jardins. Oui, ça.
Okay, रुक जाओ होने थे ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਜਰਦਾ ਸੇਮ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਲ Le jardin. That was good.
Imbécile. Impossible.
Mhm.
Uh,
Good.
on est ceinture de la peinture.
रुक जाओ इत्थे हुण ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਆ une ceinture ਸਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ EIN ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਸੇਮ ਹੀ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟਡ ਵਰਡਸ ਆ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ words highlighted in pink their pronunciation is ਸਭ ਦੀ right
ceinture.
très bien
Un ceinture de la peinture.
okay if you don't know what's a ceinture is a belt is a driving belt seat belt une ceinture okay de la peinture is I think a paint maybe let's check peinture okay that's a paint okay. Please go ahead
Du pain pour Dima.
très bien
J'ai faim.
très bien
Un syndicat.
très bien
Symphonie. On sympathie.
une symphonie
Symphonie.
sympathique
Sympathie.
sympathique
Une symphonie sympathique.
très bien
Un citoyen moyen.
ok
Bientôt. Bienvenue.
bienvenue
Bienvenue.
ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੌਰੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ citoyen citoyen is a masculine okay citoyen so
Citoyen.
ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ and not une right
Un citoyen moyen. Bientôt. Bienvenue.
yeah perfect so let's continue the video so all clear up here guys this part is clear what everything means how to pronounce that do you have any questions please ask me now
All good.
all good perfect let me stop sharing and go to the video and then we will
En. En is the second sound we have studied. En. En.
Oh.
For example, j'entends le vent. J'entends le vent. We can write it EM before B et P. En septembre, il fait beau temps. En septembre, il fait beau temps. AN, ma tante aime les oranges. Ma tante aime les oranges. Orange. Ma tante aime les oranges. AM before B et P. Ma tante aime le champagne et le jambon. Ma tante aime le champagne et le jambon. Okay, so we've seen un, en. So now let's have a look at on. We can write it O-N.
again this we'll practice there okay it's very important
We can write it EM before B et P. En septembre, il fait beau temps. En septembre, il fait beau temps. AN, ma tante aime les oranges. Ma tante aime les oranges. Orange. Ma tante aime les oranges. AM before B et P. Ma tante aime le champagne et le jambon. Ma tante aime le champagne et le jambon. Okay, so we've seen un, en. So now let's have a look at
Mew.
So this is the second sound that we did from before. So let me quickly, for a quick recap. So it is used with a. So this is a quick recap that I'm right in the front of the video. So if you happen to see these spellings, am, an, em, then you will say a. Okay. So I'm gonna write this here. Okay. So this is just to simplify the things. So professor here used I think four different, but just to simplify. So we have just, because we know that after M it should be B or P. So we'll just make it just one category. AN or AM, we know already that after M it should be B or P. So let's just make it one category. And EN and EM also, let's just make it one category. And we know that after EM it should be B or P, right? So let's not complicate things. Let's keep it simple. So okay, who's gonna start? First, I can do the first part. So j'entends le vent. En septembre, il fait beau temps. Ma tante aime les oranges. So please keep in mind it's a liaison. Okay, don't forget that liaison. Les oranges. Ma tante aime le champagne et les jambons. What champagne is mushroom. Jambon is a meat. So yeah,
Jambo is a ham, right? Yeah.
ham. Let me check. I think it's a meat kind of meat, but let me check which exactly. Jambon.
Jambo ham.
Proper ham. Pork.
Pork ham.
बस ठीक है pork ਹੁੰਦਾ किस uipule de pork separe pour être conservé cru ou cru kiss de pork. Okay, so pork. Okay, c'est bon. So that's jambon. Okay, so please take your turns. Go ahead.
J'entends les vents. En septembre, il fait beau temps.
Okay, not bad.
Ma tante aime les oranges.
Okay, खड़ जाओ इत्थे तुसी क्या aimer. This is the verb aimer.
Aim
We have yeah.
Ma tante aime las oranges.
Les oranges.
Les oranges. Ma tante aime les champagne et les jambons.
Okay, फिर सेम गलती. It's le masculin. Le champagne et le jambon.
Le jambon.
Le champagne et le jambon. ठीक है? Perfect. So Garbi, please your turn now.
From j'entends le vent. En septembre, il fait beau temps. Ma tante aime les oranges. ma tante aime le champagne et le jambon.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੋਲਿਸੀ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਯਾਰ ਦੋਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ
Le
ਲੈ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ
sole.
ਹੋ
Le,
ਲ
le, okay,
ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਮਸਕੂਲਾ ਇਟਸ ਆਲਵੇਸ ਲ ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੁੱਲ
le,
ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲ ਸ਼ੈਂਪਾਨ le jambon
le jambon, le jambon.
très bien so ਇੱਥੇ ਸੀਗਾ en septembre il fait beau temps it means il fait means it feels good it's good in September j'entends la vent it means I hear the wind so j'entends j'entends and we don't pronounce ds j'entends le vent okay so let's just go back
On. We can write it on. For example, un garçon blond, un garçon blond, une leçon et une question. Une leçon et une question. And OM before B et P. For example, compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Okay, this is finished. So remember to say, for example, une leçon et une question. And OM before B et P, for example, compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Okay, this is finished. So remember two things, the way we write it and the way your mouth has to be when you pronounce it. Un, en, on. The sound goes from here and from the nose. Un, en, on. J'espère que vous avez aimé cette leçon.
pardon, c'est la dernière, leçon et on, ok, un garçon blanc, un leçon, une question. Compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Donc, so we just did the sound on, that's the last sound. So just for your help, I'm gonna copy that. The ending just two, it's just on or om. So it's very simple. If you happen to see on or om, so then you will use this sound. Just one case. Okay. And you know that if it's followed by P and B, so that should be M. And for the rest, it's N only. Garçon. And the sound is on. On. Lips rounded and tongue flat and on. You have your air from the mouth and the nose. On. If you happen to close it, on. You will see that you will feel the N nasal sound coming out of it. Yeah, please take turns and go ahead.
Oh, I can do that then because I have to go in the building.
I will do it. Un garçon blond, un l'écran, un cochon,
Ok, खड़ दो इत्थे तुसी क्या en question. It's une
une
question. It's
question,
feminine. Une question. Oui.
computer,
Like.
les nombres, comprendre et compléter.
Okay, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ it's an exception. We don't pronounce p here. Compter is compter les
Compter,
nombres. Les nombres. It's an
nombres,
exception, but I don't know. I have never heard people pronouncing p, and I don't know why we don't do it, but we don't do it.
les,
Compter les
les
nombres.
compter, les nombres,
Mhm.
comprendre et compléter.
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 Très bien. Okay. Go ahead, please, Gargi. Hello, Gargi, are you available? Listening?
Restart.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Un garçon blanc, un leçon, un garçon compta
Okay, खड़ दो एक मिनट एक गलत है. Une question.
une question.
Une question.
Une question. Question.
Une question. Question.
Question.
हाँ, it was very good. Question. Yeah, très bien.
Blanc. Blanc. Should we speak D?
Yeah. No, we don't. So because it's a masculine. Okay, so example gave yesterday. I gave an example. If it happens to be a feminine now name, let's say fille, it's a girl. Une fille blonde. Dans ce cas, then we pronounce D, blonde. Okay.
Okay. Next is un leçon.
Then must
Un. Okay. Un leçon. Un question.
une question, très bien. Got it.
Compter le nombre.
Des nombres.
Comprendre. Compléter.
Ok. Compter les nombres, comprendre et compléter. Très bien. So guys, so today we will do a very important French just 1 second. Okay. Idioms. That's very good. So let's just do that.
If you want the support guide for this lesson, you can join our community and you will get the support guides. Okay, just click on the join button below. Right, let's have a look at common French phrases. I am going to stick to two verbs that you will find in idioms or phrases, common phrases that we use in French. The two verbs I'm going to use are avoir and faire. Now, avoir means to have and faire means to do or to make. But put this verb together with another word and it creates what we call an idiom. So I would like with you to have a look at a few common idioms and whether you can spot them in sentences. And that will be the exercise today. Now, let's have a look at some common French phrases. Let's start with some phrases with the verb avoir. Now, avoir on its own means to have. But when it is put with another word, okay, depending, I mean, not any words, but some words, it means something different. So, let's have a look at avoir faim. Avoir faim means to be hungry. And la faim means the hunger, okay? But put them together, avoir faim means to have hunger. But of course, in English, you would say to be hungry. And this is where the confusion is a lot of the time with English speakers wanting to learn French or speak French, is that they will tend to translate I am hungry using
Learn French with great French TV.
L'année prochaine, il y a une fondation qui va mettre aux enchères un collier. Un collier qui a appartenu à...
to be. Je suis faim. But it doesn't work. Use avoir. Okay? Avoir soif. Same for that. To be thirsty. So I have thirst. Avoir peur. To be scared. I have fear. So j'ai peur. Avoir raison. To be right. I have right. Okay? Avoir froid ou avoir chaud. To be cold or hot. So I have cold. I have hot. Avoir besoin de. I have need of. Okay? And avoir besoin de means to need. Avoir envie de. To want or to feel like. I have a feeling of. Okay? Now there's obviously lots more using avoir. Okay? But we are going to concentrate on these as an example. Okay? We will see in a minute of how we use them in context. With faire. Faire is a funny one. Faire, I think I have done a video on 100 idioms using faire, if my memory serves me right. But it's an odd one because we do a lot of things in French. So we use the verb faire and then add a noun to it, and then it becomes an idiom. Okay. So be aware in sentences, be aware in conversation that it could be that the person who you are talking to does not refer to the faire as in the verb to make, but as in, for example, to scare someone. Such example, you will see here, faire peur à, to scare. So if someone says, oh, je t'ai fait peur, that means, did I scare you? Okay? And it has the verb faire. So try to associate faire with words that come next to it and see whether they are actually idioms. Now, faire chaud. In the weather, it's terrible. We use faire all the time. Faire froid, faire frais, faire mauvais. So to be hot, cold, chilly. So il fait chaud, it's hot. Il fait froid, it's cold. Il fait beau, it's sunny. Il fait mauvais, it is not nice, okay? Faire mal à, to hurt someone. Je fais mal à mon chien, I hurt my dog. Not purposefully, obviously. Faire attention, to be careful, to be careful. Faire exprès, to do something on purpose. Faire semblant, to pretend, okay? So you can see that here, for example, you have to pretend in English, but we have two words, faire and then semblant. I mean, put faire on its own, that means to do, to make. But put it with semblant, it means to pretend. And this is what I mean by common idioms. Here we're not talking about crazy idioms. We're talking about phrases that are used commonly on a daily basis in French, okay? So what would be good is for you to be to be reminded of how we conjugate avoir in a present tense. Because the reason why I said that is because when you are going to do, for example, avoir faim, can you see that? Avoir faim here. Well, you can't use it to have or to be hungry. You've got to say, I am hungry. And the way you are going to do that is by knowing how to conjugate avoir in the present tense. So here we go. What am I doing? Here's that. J'ai, I have. Okay, can you say that? Tu as, you have. il a, elle a, on a, she, he, one has. Nous avons, we have. Vous avez, you have. Ils, elles ont, they have. Okay. Now, if we use avoir as an idiom in the context, we could say, je pense que tu as besoin de. Now remember, avoir besoin de is to need, d'appeler le docteur. I think you need to call the doctor. And the way we've done this is where we know that the verb is avoir besoin de. Okay, avoir besoin de. And what we've done, we conjugated avoir, which is here into its infinitive form, and we have conjugated according to the subject, which is tu. And tu, using avoir, is tu as. Can you see that? So, tu as. It's not tu avoir, okay? Tu as. Tu as besoin. So, I think you need to call the doctor, okay? Let's have a look at faire now before we get on to do our phrases. Faire, to do or to make in the present tense. Je fais, I do, I make. Tu fais, you do, you make. It's the same, by the way. Il fait, elle fait, on fait. Okay. Nous faisons, vous faites, il et elle font. Okay. So again, knowing how to conjugate faire doesn't hurt. I mean, I think this is one of the most important verbs, as well as avoir and être, that needs to be learned in French. Anyways, okay? But then when you put faire with another word and it creates an idiom, it becomes more difficult. Okay, so the example of the use of an idiom using faire, for example, we could say, fais attention sur la route. Fais attention sur la route. Be careful on the road. Be careful on the road, okay? So the way we've done that is we've taken faire, we have transported to you be careful on the road, which is tu fais attention sur la route. Here it's an imperative, so it's an order, so we don't need the you be careful on the road, so be careful on the road, okay? Right, so we have done avoir and faire using idiom. What can you see here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. I would like you now to try to identify where the idiom is in each sentence. Let's have a look at the first one. Merci pour le cadeau, ça me fait plaisir. Merci pour le cadeau, ça me fait plaisir. Thank you for the present. There is the word plaisir. It pleases me, maybe?
Guys, are you there? Still there?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the video?
Yes,
So
please.
before we continue the second part, I want to quickly revise with you what we have done with up to now. So from the video, what we have learned. The professor discussed. So these are the common phrases in French that we use a lot, okay, and what it means. So these idioms that are commonly used and that are formed with verb avoir, so are as follows, and with the verb faire are as follows. So first of all, we should know the conjugation of verb avoir, faire, and être by heart. Very important, guys. Since we have done that already, I need your help to please tell me what should I write. With avoir, so what should come here? Conjugation. J. Next, tu. Avoir conjugation. No, it's not that hard. It's easy. Come on, you know that. Chew, chua, il, ila,
Vous allons,
nous, nous avons,
nous allons, vous allez, vous avez,
vous avez, très bien.
ils
Ils,
vont, vont,
ils ont.
ils ont.
Okay. Next comes the verb faire. Okay. So who will help me with the this conjugation, please? Je fais,
Tu fais,
tu fais, très bien. Il fait,
oui.
nous,
Nous ferons,
nous faisons, nous,
faisons, vous faisiez,
hein?
faisait,
Yes.
ils faisons,
Ils font
ils font.
être. Who will tell me that condition of être? Je suis,
Tu,
tu es,
tu, tu es,
hein?
il est,
Yes.
nous, nous sommes,
Yes.
vous sommes,
Vous êtes,
vous êtes, il,
ils,
ils êtes,
ils sont, ils sont. Ok, très bien. Là maintenant, what we will do, we will use these verbs and we will try to make idioms, these idioms. And what I need you to know is the meanings of these. So fa means be hungry. Okay. So fa means hungry. Okay. Sof means thirsty. Sof is thirsty. And par means afraid, scared maybe. Raison means right. Okay. And froid or chaud means cold or hot. Could be anything, cold, hot. So it could be bow. Okay, that's with the okay. That's with the at. Anyway, faire. Okay. Okay. Besoin de means need to. Envie de means want. So if I were to say, "Are you, I am hungry. I am hungry." How would I say? So you know it's in English. What's will be the French equivalent of "I'm hungry"? So you know that we use avoir to say this. I'm hungry. How will you conjugate with je and then say I'm hungry in French? Okay, I can help the first one. So we use avoir is j'ai faim. So hungry is faim. Okay, and we use avoir to say hunger, to tell that you're hungry, and I will say j'ai faim. Okay, so we have learned from before am is a. Okay, j'ai faim. It means I'm hungry. So if we're to ask somebody, are you hungry? How would you ask? I think you know how to make questions.
Tu faim?
As-tu faim? Très bien. Or there is other way. S. C'est que tu as faim. So there are two ways to ask questions. So you can use any of them. Are you hungry? So it's inverse. Okay. Subject verb inverse and that question mark, that becomes a question. As-tu faim? So from where as came, so it's just the conjugation of verb avoir. Okay, here. So and there's another way to ask the question, that's ask with ask. Ask tu as faim? Question mark. Okay. So if I were to say he is thirsty, how would I say?
S-Q. So? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he is ill. So with avoir, which is thirsty means soif, and we use avoir with that. So help yourself. How will I say he's thirsty?
Ill. So.
Il a, because it's avoir, right? So with avoir, it's third person, it's il a and soif. Il a soif. He's thirsty. That's good. No problem. And then if we're to ask, are they thirsty? So it's
Ils
asking.
ils sont sauf.
Yeah, ils sont soif. Très bien. Ils ont soif. So since we are asking a question, okay, so I have to inverse the subject until soif, or maybe as skill ils ont soif. Since I am asking the question, so I have to, so I cannot say it this way, but it's a very good base that you gave me. It's a very good. I would think it like this, but since I'm asking a question, so I have to say until soif, right? Or maybe ask with ask. Ask kill so with ask I can use that. If I had ask in front of that, that works fine perfectly. So if I were to add ask in front of this, that is right. All right, that's good. And why here apostrophe? Because il is a vowel. Ask il son so. Sorry, it's avoir it's on without s. Ask il so. So I'm asking, are they thirsty? If I were to ask, are you right? How will I say? Okay, you are right. If I were to say this, you are right. How will I say? You are right. Okay, simple. With avoir. So
It will be
right means
tu.
raison means right.
Tu.
And
So tu raison.
yes, très bien. Tu as raison. Okay, so you're right. So if I were to say somebody, you're right, I will say tu as raison in French. So what's the base for that? So I use avoir conjugation with tu, and then raison is you're right. You're right. So if I were to say you are not right, then how will you say?
Tu non raison.
Tu n'as pas raison. Très bien. So what I did, I just added ne pas before and after subject. So I just added ne pas before and after the verb, and that becomes negation. Why apostrophe? Because a starts with the vowel. Tu n'as pas raison. Okay. So you take a verb that's conjugated, and you add ne and pas. You add ne plus pas before and after. So that becomes a negation. Tu n'as pas raison. You are not right. Okay, that's
मेरी मैं
perfect.
कॉफी पा के लेके आओ
Okay.
सॉरी
Okay, so please tomorrow, please come prepared with these verbs. You should know these verbs by heart, and we will do many exercises based on these. And so there are these are very useful idioms, guys. You will use these idioms a lot, and Anglophones generally when they start learning, they use so I am. It translates to be in French. Être, but they say je suis faim, which is wrong because in their head it's être. I am hungry, so I am is to be in English. So they use être sometimes to translate to write that, so which is wrong. So we have to tell that with avoir. Okay, you have to learn this. But that's very good start. I'm happy that you are participating and that you understand the base and how these things are formed. And I'm sure that we will go fast from here. That's impressive. It's really impressive. That's good. And if you have gonna stop sharing, I'm gonna stop the recording.